Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to our regular weekly analysis. What we do here, weekly outlook, what we do is we look at the charts for setups for the week coming. That is for this week coming. And I was just giving a little, while we had some time, telling about some of the trolls that are back in the new year. A new year, same old trolls are back. You can't help that, they're there. So last week, you remember we said, watch the dollar index. This correction is not over. It is likely going to make deeper correction. I still think that this week we are also going to have more correction in the dollar index because time-wise, this correction is small. Right, so we're going to have more correction. We may get up and one more down, and eventually we're going to have one more of this. But for this week, we're looking for more corrective structure. So on a 4-hour, if you look, it looks like, you remember the last time I said this would not be all. We're going to make 1, 2, 3, and then come down. That is what they did. Now we're making a little flag here. This flag will break to the downside. You're not looking for 1, 2, 3. This is more of a flag. So it is going to break to the downside, retest this low, and go back up. It is not going to go very far. It is going to test the low and break and go back up because that is how structure works. Right? Now I'm anticipating a move like this, probably up here. And this would probably be a corrective structure for one more down. I don't think this is all the correction. Now it could be, but I don't think so. So what we're going to do is if you take this sell, be very careful, but look for the buy setup, which means in all the majors, we're going to look for dollar strength, euro weakness, right? So euro, same thing. It did go up. It's consolidating. You can see that. That means short term within this week, we can look for one more up on the euro, right? The euro is going to make big consolidation like this. It is not going to go as yet. We'll probably get some more up, some more down, some more up and down. This will take a couple months. So that means we're right now on the up leg. And we're probably going to have one more up. Watch this. This is a corrective structure coming down here. You can see they made a correction here. They're doing this. They'll probably do this and one more up. You can look for a buy setup. Depends on the strategy you're using. You may get the buy at an earlier stage. But that depends on what strategy you're using. I do not discuss my strategy here on TradingView or on anywhere else except in our trading room. That is the only place you have access to our trading strategy. Not the analysis I give you, not the charts I post, but the strategy we use to trade. And if any of the trolls are in the room right now listening, I'm going to give you something to work on. We actually have a strategy that we recycle the stop loss. That's a new strategy we came up this week based on our absolute new strategy we're working on, right? And it's amazing. You can recycle the stop loss. That is something for the trolls to go work their head on. What do I mean by that? No more of that, just to get them busy. Because they need things to keep them busy, right? So you guys watch for this. Our strategy, none of you here, if you're not in my room, knows it. Don't even try to guess what it is, right? But we have some amazing strategy working on this year, and we are actually testing them, and it's amazing what it's doing. And I mean, really, really amazing. My traders are like, oh, wow, this is good. This is what we're doing here. And that is the good. It is good to have a room where people don't have to pay a monthly fee to be with you. They have lifetime free access. That means the very good traders you have, the very experienced traders you have, will stick around to help the rest of the traders. And that is what is happening in our group. The results of that is what we are seeing this year in the new strategies we're working on. Right? It's the results of senior traders, very experienced traders, people with banking experience coming forward and said, okay, guys, this is a good strategy to work with. And then we all go and test it. And it's amazing. Now, if you're charging people a monthly fee, then all you're thinking about is collecting your monthly fee. You're not thinking about developing the traders themselves. In our case, we develop traders. We don't work for a monthly fee. We develop traders in our group. So if you're paying a monthly fee, stop doing that right now. When the webinar is over, go and unsubscribe. You will never learn anything in there. You will never learn anything if you're subscribing anywhere for a monthly fee. You will not learn anything in there. Believe me. I've been in a room like that. I used to pay $200 a month. It's not helping you. You don't learn anything in there. Unsubscribe tomorrow and then go check my charts. How many of those trolls will be there trolling me for what I said just now? They will be there. Believe me, there will be there trolling, but you should unsubscribe. You will learn nothing in there. If you're new to trading, spend some time learning the free stuff you can get on the internet for free. Don't look at some drawing somebody is posting on TradingView and believe you can understand charts from that. You will not understand a thing from people just drawing some PowerPoint or some sketches in it. That's not how the chart moves. All of that you need to know is free. You can go to babypip.com, you can go to elliottwave.com, you can go to many sites where you have free educational stuff. That is not what you get in our trading room and in our course. In our course, what we do is we train you when you already have knowledge. So only today, I told one guy he should not take the course. I think about 2 hours before we came in here, I told him, you should not take the course because you have 5 months experience. Spend the next 5-6 months learning these stuff. And when you're finding you understand it, you have the knowledge, but you don't have the ability to trade well, then you come to us to train you to become a good trader. Right? That is what you should do. So don't pay for these free stuffs that you can get. That's not what you should pay for. People charge you $500 to tell you what is support and resistance. You don't need that. Most of them have it wrong, by the way. Most of those stuff you will get from these guys in TradingView and a lot of places that are posting charts, that's for hyping. You will literally get the information wrong. And I've looked at some of those charts with patterns in them. They're incorrect. You want to know about pattern? Go read the book, the Elliott Wave Principles. It's free on elliottwave.com. So you can get all that. That's not what you should pay for. What you should pay for is becoming a pro trader, somebody who can train you for the rest of your life. To make every step forward that you're making mistakes, correct them and move along. You become better at training and trading. Making money, that's what you become better at. That's what we do in our group, make money. So let's go. Watch this here. We're going to look for one more up. I think this week we would likely get this up move. So based on your strategy, you can buy it at the bottom or you can buy the breakout. Now, just don't go buy. That's not a strategy. You must know what the risk is. You must know how you're trading. You must understand why you're taking this trade here. Maybe this structure could change. There is a very good chance this structure could change and break. So that is why you need to understand, is it going to break or is not going to break? Based on what we have right now at this moment, I'm telling you this has a higher probability of coming up. So we are monitoring it. And if we see that there's a good chance for a buy here because it's going to go up, we will take the trade. If there isn't, we will ignore the trade and wait for the setup to come. That's what you need to do, right? So we're looking for more upside. Most likely this week we're going to get more upside in the euro, and then we would look for a reversal for downside, not a breakout of the entire corrective structure, but a corrective move down back, right? I don't think euro is going anywhere for the next couple of months. It's going to trade sideways. Pung. Well, Pung gapped, so very likely they'll probably go back, close the gap. On a 1 hour, you may look for a trade entry if you get any. There's kind of a very small flag forming here right now. If you look at it, this here, a small flag in the making. So if you get this flag here, look for the breakout to the upside, at least to fill the gap. And then you can decide whether I wouldn't be trading it to the upside unless it breaks this trend line, right? Unless it breaks that trend line. This is the low we're looking at to see whether they'll break the low or not. I don't think they're going to break that low. Because if they break that low, we're going to have a long-term up structure. I think right now we will have a bigger three-wave consolidation. 1, 2, 3. So we will be looking for this trade up. That is something like this, going up like this. If they break the low, that negates the move to the upside. The move to the upside after that will happen, but it is going to be a trending move to the upside. So we will see which one they give us. In terms of trade right now this week, short-term buys. I'm looking for short-term buys, 60-minute buys if we can get it here, at least back to the trend line or back to where the gap is. An Aussie surprisingly did not give us the low. It did not break the low. We were expecting it to come and break this daily low. right? And that would have given us a classical flat pattern, but instead we have a flat pattern where the A wave, the C wave did not go beyond the wave. This didn't break, right? This is just a line. So we did not get a break of the low. This is also a flat, but it's not, it's a regular flat, but not classical. Classical is when you wanted the break actually. This is just a regular flat. So now what we're looking for is a buy setup. You can, I think you can all see that right now. I'll take this off. We're making a flag. When that flag break, you buy. This one is pretty simple, right? By now, if you've been watching my webinar for a couple of time, you know you're looking for a buy setup here. This is pretty easy, right? So look for this buy setup. Where would you want to buy that to? You want to buy that back to the top of this trend. It's kind of a sideways corrective structure. You want to buy that back to the top there, and then we will see if they break out. There is no guarantee that they are going to break out, but we will see if they break out or how far they go to the upside. But a buy is definitely in a 4 hour, and a 1 hour it's a buy setup, right? So short term, I don't think it's a trade you want, but there's a short term, they will come back some more down. You can see this. But that is a down within the corrective structure, right? You can see that if it comes back all the way to the top here like this, and then break, this would be a nice short-term trade. Retest this low and then go back up as a 1, 2, 3 wave structure before they go. So very short-term, very, very short-term, you may get some more downside, but it's a buy opportunity. It's not an opportunity to sell, right? It is looking for a longer-term opportunity for a buy. Let's see. Let's see how that goes, right? So if this climbs some more and make a very nice flag here, maybe for this week, the only trade we get would be a short-term sell. If this does something like this and then break, you may get a nice short-term trade like this. Remember that one? Pretty short, not a sell setup. You got to be careful. But the break of this is a buy, that's for sure. Same with New Zealand, right? I posted this. Possible one more down. I still think they have some more downside. They actually made it, so they can go up a little more, but we're going to look for this 15, 6, 18 fips somewhere around here. So this is probably going to go up some more, come back here, and then upside. So we're in a consolidation for upside. Look for buy setups. You're looking for buy. We are breaking the daily structure. Let me put it like this for you, daily. We're breaking out of that daily structure. Oh, wrong one. We're breaking out of the daily structure. See that? It's breaking out. It's not very aggressive, so we'll watch it very keen, but it's pulsing up, which means that it could still go up. Right now, this is correcting for one more pulse up. So when they get to this top, when they get to around that top, we will see whether they're going to go or they'll pull back. But very, very likely, I think we're going to get a bigger up move, right? I don't see the one more down move coming because what they made is an impulse, a correction, an impulse, a correction, an impulse. You're making another impulse here, correction here, you're going to make another impulse up. This is a nice trade, by the way. So see if you get that trade. Right. CAD, US CAD, let's see if this is going to break. If this breaks, sell it. Remember, I've been talking about this. Well, this is one that, you know, we've been talking about since last year, right? Just once it comes to the top here, we were selling, 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 and we were selling. Now it broke the trend line. And most people think if you break the trend line, it's going to go. That's not so. The trend line itself has little value. Remember, nobody knows you have your trend line there. That's just a line in the chart. It doesn't mean anything until it is showing you a confirmation of a pattern. So breaking the trend line actually means nothing, right? I see people put 2, 3 trend, they put a lot of trend lines on their chart and they said this is a pattern. Well, that's not a pattern. That is you putting 2 trend lines between the charts and hoping it's a pattern. It's not a pattern. These patterns are known, they have specific formation, and they have specific names. Now, there is a chance that we may be looking at one of that pattern in the making. That is an expanding flat. We don't have enough confirmation for it, as well as we don't have confirmation for the downside. So here's what you're going to look at. If this trade comes and stop here, you're going to have a corrective structure for upside. See that? If it comes and stop there, we're going to go down to the 60 minutes and look at that. So on the 60 minutes, what you have is a move up, a very fast reversal. You got one move down, one move up, and you're likely going to get one more down here again. Now, this one could take off. So this sell is a good sell, and you get a break-even trade. If I sell that one, I'll be looking for a break-even trade because I'll expect it to come here, stop right here, turn and go back up. Because this here is a bigger corrective structure. So we would look for upside. Basically, I'll take this sell, but I'll be looking for the trade to go up. So if you take that sell, and you should take it because we don't know that it's not going to fall off the bottom. They do that very rarely, but they do that. If you guys keep all the question for later, it would be good. I'll be able to answer them because right now I am not reading the chat, right? So what you're going to look for here, and okay, what is that about the money there? I remember. Okay, please, if you guys can abstain from naming anybody's group or name here in particular, I would like that. Please don't do that. We don't do that. We don't discuss people. We discuss issues. We discuss trading methods. I really don't care who is using those trading methods. We discuss the methods. We discuss support and resistance. We discuss patterns. We discuss support. We discuss advancement. I don't care who is using it. I'm not interested in the people themselves. I'm interested in the method. We discuss methods of trading because we're traders. Whether they're good or bad, I'll say it. I'll tell you what my view, I'll give you my view of those methods of understanding. It has nothing to do with who's using it. I hardly know who's using them. So please avoid using any specific name, right? Thank you. Good. My apologies to anybody whose name was used, right? That's not the intention, right? When I say go to this and this place to learn, those are very big sites and they're open. I don't think if I said go to babypip.com or elliotwave.com, it will, hurt anybody. And I'm telling you to get the materials there only, not to join them or to do anything, right? So let's go on. Yep, watch this. What it's probably doing here is making a corrective structure, and we can look for more upside. We will monitor this, and I'll post the updates for you guys, whether it is starting a downside or it is going up, because there is very, 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 very good chance, and I'm quite convinced that it could do that we could end up having a longer term, one more up before they go down. So I need to see a 4-hour consolidation here before I'm convinced of the longer term downside. Either way, I'm watching this very close. So I'll post the updates as we go along, so you guys will have my views on it, what I think it's doing. But if you took the first sell or the second sell, it doesn't matter which one of those two sells you took, and you took off profit here, you did make a lot of money, right? That was good. Taking off the profit there wasn't a bad idea. If you got in the second sell, which we were looking for in our trading room, short term on the 15-minute, we were looking for that sell. Some of our traders got it, some not. And well, it doesn't matter. This piece doesn't really matter. Wait for this one to give you either the longer term trade. And if this is the start of the longer term trade, it's a pretty huge trade. You don't want to get out. If this trade starts to go from here, we're coming something like about a couple hundred pips. I'm honest, we will get about 1,000 pips or more out of that trade. Easily. If it goes up and then come down, we will really use a lot of money. We'll really make a lot of money on that. So it doesn't matter which way it goes. Right? So, okay, let's go. 4-hour, watch it. Watch that. I'll post updates on this. Short-term 60 minutes, there's a trade. For those of you who like 30, 40 pips, you may get 30, 40 pips out of this. You can see this flag here, and it's likely going to break. It's going to probably do this. When it comes here, be careful. That may be all you get, and it goes back up. Now, if you're lucky and it does that, you stay in the trade, but you got to be careful. I'll take a break-even trade from that if I sell it, right? Swiss, same here. You're probably going to get a short-term trade. I'll be careful of any sell here because the Swiss is making this pattern, right? See, they're correcting this move up, and it's likely, you got to watch it. They may go back up some more. I think this is making pretty much what the dollar index is doing. So some more downside, but watch the upside, right? This is short-term, just like the cat, short-term upside, downside, right? Yen, very similar structure. Okay, let me just take these off. This was a question I was answering in our trading room. That's how come you got that there. Yep. Short term, this is coming down, so we're going to watch it. I don't think you want this sell because it's not very long term. You can see the divergence in here. You can see everything changing. It's possible going to go back up. So you want to look for, if I'm trading this, I will ignore the downside and start looking for opportunities for a buy, right? Looking for buy opportunity, because the downside in this corrective structure is almost over. If you get a flag, if you get a really nice flag, then you look for a sell. Right now, as this is going, you're probably going to come some more. I think we may get to about this level, and then we can start to look for upside, right? So keep your eyes on that. And that is the majors. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to skip all the crosses because I will select some of them, but let's skip them for now and do gold, silver, oil. Silver, there is a trade to the downside. Don't miss it. First, you're going to go up some more here. You're going to actually climb up some more. Don't miss that trade to the downside. It's easy to see. Just look at the charts. See this one here? Remember we were saying more downside? All of you were in here when we were saying more downside. This one, more downside. This, more downside. You can see that, right? Watch it as it comes to the top there. Look for a sell setup. Use the strategy you're using if you have one. If you don't have a strategy, be careful, right? So watch this trade. I think we're going to go up some more, but then it's totally downside. Let's put this more like that, something like that, right? So watch it, some more upside, but this is going to give you one more impulse down. So far, that is what we see. We haven't seen a change in that structure as yet. So maybe it's going to crawl up some more, but look for a sell setup. Gold, very similar. It's going up, but one more downside, definitely. This is very slow. One more downside, and then they'll probably go up. So we'll get one more move to the downside in gold as well. Oil. You are getting a consolidation right now. You're getting a very nice pattern coming down here. So you're going to get one more up, right? You're going to definitely get one more up. Let's go. This is not the C wave as yet. That's just part of the C wave, but it's in a 4 hour. You can see this one. It's starting to look like you're going to get one more down here. Just be careful. There's making this move down is starting to become a flag. If it breaks, you could buy. If they break out of this, you want to buy. They may not give you this wave. We're looking to see whether we'll get that wave, but you can see right now that this structure here is looking like you will not get that wave to the downside. So downside possibility, but if they break any point, they break out of here, you want to buy, right? It's going to go up one more. If they crawl down like this and you don't get the sell part of it, look for a buy. This pattern breaks to the upside. So you're looking for a buy setup. UK oil, same thing. You can see it. Natural gas, very similar. Watch this move here, right? We're in a big corrective structure right now. You're going up, you make a correction, you go up, you make a correction, you go up, you make a deeper correction, you go up, you make a bigger correction. I think we're making a big correction here, and you continue to go up, right? So watch natural gas, watch oil for upside. This week, not possible. I don't think this week they're going to go. So this week, short term, you may get some more downside. Watch this here, right? Short term, possible downside. 1 hour, let's see a 1 hour trade if you have any 1 hour trade in there. Nope, wait for a break and look for a sell setup. Short term, these are all short term because you're trading within a sideways move. So if you take these trades, these are short term trade, right? Target for the silver, watch it to break the low. And after that, normally I trade to the 270. Depends on what your strategy is and where you want it to go. That's how you go. But I watch it to break the low and look for the 270, basically. After that, you start moving your stops. You don't really care, right? You're in profit. So if the trade works out well and you're in profit, you really don't care. S&P 500, we'll come back to some of the crosses. S&P 500, I think you will get a deeper pullback. Not the start of that big move down as some traders are expecting. But we're going to get one of this here. We're going to get one of this curve here, and then you'll probably go back up again. There is still some more upside before it turns. Watch this level, that 270. There's a 90% chance they get to that 270, right? For those who trade Nifty, and a lot of our traders do, watch this also. It could come back one more to the trend line before it goes. So some of our traders are in the buy, If you're in the buy, start moving your stops very tight because at any point they could come down back, right? Copper, we'll do all of these. Copper, we're looking for a sell setup. It looks like we will get one. It's not ready as yet, but we may get a sell setup, wait for a flag and then sell, right? Short term, these are all short term trades for this week. Long term, copper is in a sideways move. You can see that, right? And if it's in a sideways move, it will tend to go up. So let me show you that on the daily. Remember this sideways move to go up? So you got to move up, you got to sideways, you got to move up, you're making a sideways, come back one more down here and then go back up, right? So short-term downside, long-term upside, right? So watch this here very carefully. 4 hour, short-term we were expecting downside and then long-term upside, right? So Aussie, New Zealand, we'll start, that's the first cross we'll start with because we are still in the trade. Aussie, New Zealand, we haven't closed the trade. So let's go on that one, 1 hour. 1 hour, it's making a consolidation. You notice it made a consolidation, breaking out and it's coming. So this consolidation is becoming a bigger consolidation, which means you may want to consider taking profit if you don't want to keep it for the long run, right? We bought here. So we bought at the 786. So really, I don't think it's going to go back to the 786, but I think you may get something like this and then the upside because we broke the trend line already. See that? The trend line was here. We broke it. And it's not going up, so it's going sideways. It will eventually go up. The only problem is now you're going to have something like this. And then the upside, we'll probably get something like this. So if it goes up one more and it's not moving away, it's not breaking away, you can take the trade off. Take it off a profit somewhere at the top here. Wait for it to come back at the low and then buy. Right? So you can buy back. The next move up, you can take it off. I still think they're going to go sideways, which means we have one sideways down. We're getting one up, and then we can get one more down, and then we can go. So somewhere at the top here, you can take the trade off, wait for it to come back, and then buy again. All right? It's just a longer term consolidation before they go. That is for this one. The two trades that we're looking for also, we're keeping a very close eye on. Euro and New Zealand. 15 minutes. Let me come to the 15 minutes so you can see this. Let's go to the daily first. There is a possibility that this is the low. There is a very strong possibility that this is the low because what we are making here now is a consolidation, the downtrend, and we are breaking that downtrend, but we're consolidating along it, right? Let's take this off. Now, if this was going to drop, they would probably be at the bottom already. But what they're doing in a 4 hour is they're going sideways. You can see that 4 hour structure, right? They made one, they made two, and remember I call a sell looking like a flag for a sell. And again, somebody came in to tell me, no, they're buying it. They don't know what I'm talking about selling it. They're already in the buy and they're hundreds of pips up. Guys, please don't do that because if you do that, you've set yourself up for embarrassment. Now you just, when I post this sell, you post a buy and it's okay. Just post it. Don't tell me how many 100 pips you have and all of that. Just post your view and that's great, right? I can be wrong, but I just post my view. I'm not telling you you're wrong, right? So now it's down and that's what we're looking for. But this looks like a 3-wave correction. 1, 2, 3. And we may be reversing already, right? So watch this trade very carefully. If they make a low here, and for most of you who trade patterns like head and shoulder, you may want to look for a possibility of that here. If they start to break this trend here, buy. Those who are not in the trade, watch for buy setups on the 1 hour. So watch for this. I'll post this out. As soon as the webinar is finished, I'll post this chart out back. So watch this here. Watch for this trade up. If they break, make sure you buy. And if they break this, you're totally keeping that trade. You are keeping that trade for a couple thousand pips to come. So watch this here. This is a nice setup and it's almost ready to go. If they keep going down, ignore the downside. You're not interested in the downside because the downside could reverse at any point. And you don't want that to happen, right? So watch this here. Look for buy setups. Don't buy as yet. Wait for them to break. If you guys keep the question to the end, I'll answer them. We don't take the questions during the webinar. So watch this. This is a very nice trade. This trade could happen tomorrow anytime. Just keep your eyes on it. Very good, right? That is one I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you the Aussie yen because we posted this and it's going. It's going down. Don't worry. It will make a flag here and go. So if you're not in the trade, you have an opportunity to get in when it makes the flag, right? You're not in the trade and they make a nice flag here. You can sell in the break of the flag, right? So watch this trade to break this low and look at this target. We're looking for that target right now, right? So we're looking for more downside. Aussie yen, I wanted to show you the New Zealand yen. I also posted. New Zealand yen has not broken us yet, but if it breaks, you can trade. This is a nice trade. Don't lose sight of it. Now, this could go back up as well. You know, they could probably just do this and then come back. It doesn't matter. New Zealand is doing its own thing. But let's see. If it breaks, you probably want to keep an eye on it. Euro CAD, Aussie CAD. Let's look at them very fast. Euro CAD. EuroCAD was a sell setup, I think, and last Monday. Remember, there was a sell setup there. If you take it, it's going very, very slow. So you probably want to just take your trade off. When they're going that slow, you want to take them off because it's not going anywhere. Right? It's just going very slow. It's not moving. Right? Take the trade off, move your stop to positive, let it take you out, whatever. But you know, if you want to stay with it, there's a chance they can do this and then go up. But I'm looking for a big move in EuroCAD to the upside. Let me show you. All the euro trades. Let me show you all the euro trades on the daily. So that would probably, on the weekly, even that may make sense. See, there at the bottom here, there's a little trade down to the bottom, and I think there's one more up. So let's start with Euro Aus. Euro Aus, I think there is one more small trade down here, very small trade to break that low, and we're looking for a trade up. See that? Euro New Zealand, we're looking for one more. We may have already started that wave up, but we're looking for one more wave up. Maybe already started based on what I show you, right? Maybe not, but we're looking for one wave up. Don't miss it, right? Euro CAD, we're looking for one wave up. Don't miss it. Euro Yen, it already broke the structure. It's consolidating right now on the daily. You have a daily consolidation going on here. We're looking for one more up. Don't miss it, right? Now, Euro Yen may not be the most aggressive one to go, but Euro New Zealand, Euro Aus, Euro CAD. I'll be focusing not so much on the if the dollar CAD starts to go up, if the dollar CAD confirms the upside, go to Euro CAD because that one is going to move, right? New Zealand confirms the downside, right? New Zealand will eventually go down after they finish the smart move. Euro goes up, New Zealand, Euro New Zealand upside. So watch that. You watch all the Euro pairs for possible upside. Euro Chief, they'll probably break this low here and then upside, right? We were anticipating that as well. So let's see. Euro Pound. Euro Pound is the only one I think has a possible downside, and that is not because of the euro, but because of the Pound in it. The Pound factor in this is more aggressive than the euro factor. So it will probably just consolidate sideways. But watch all those euro pairs. If they start to behave the way we expect them to behave, Euro Aus, I already did that one. Somebody's sleeping in the room. Euro Aus, we were anticipating one more move down here and then up. Right? This pattern normally breaks to the upside. So short term, remember I'm in the daily weekly chart. This is not going to happen this week. This is long-term forecast for you guys, right? So you can keep these long-term forecasts and work on them. As soon as we see the turning point, we will post it for you. So there is a good chance we saw it in New Zealand. You're in New Zealand already. We're working towards that. So let's see. These are very nice trades because when you sit in one of these trades, you can actually stay with it. And staying in a trade when you're in a good trade is what most traders don't know how to do. How long we're in the Aussie New Zealand, people are freaking out, right? If you can stay in some of those trades, when they take off, they go so fast that you will make good profit in them. Pound Yen gapped below the structure I had. Let me go. Short term, it's coming down. I think there's a chance we can get some more up, but they did gap below the structure. We were looking for short-term sell. I posted all the yen pairs, short-term sell to this level. Wasn't a good sell for me. In any case, you didn't get it because it gapped, right? Now I think they could reverse. And if they reverse from here, first place you'd be looking for if you get a buy setup is this level. If they give you a flag here, and I think on the 1 hour, they're making a flag right now for a buy setup, right? You may be getting, and this has to do mostly with the pound, not the yen. You can see this, right? You get a flag here, you could take a buy setup back to this level and maybe even above it. These structures tend to break to the upside. So I was surprised this morning when I saw that gap, to be honest. That was a surprise to me. I didn't think they were going to gap below that structure, right? NASDAQ, I don't have that chart. I don't have all those charts, guys. If we start doing all those charts, we will have too much to do. The webinar will go on for hours and hours. Not that I mind, but people in here will get tired with it, right? So basically, I think those are the major ones you want to look at. If you have any questions, let me know. Keep following me in TradingView. Set your profile for instant message. Some people are asking how you do that. You just go on your profile and set it so that you get the instant message. Insight on rubles. Okay, we can take a look at rubles. I'm in Russia, so ruble has a little priority there. Let's go look at rubles. Ruble dollar. I had it somewhere here. Oh, ruble dollar. Daily. You want to look at this on the daily. So I thought this sideways would go a little more up before they come down, but they actually are going down right now. So watch it. There's a chance we're coming back to this level weekly. We're coming back to get some strength in this level here. See that? When it comes to this level, be careful. We may get another surprise. Either two ways this surprise is going to go, right? And I think you know that. Either we come retest this level for some kind of a head and shoulder pattern, what you guys would call head and shoulder pattern, or we break the top. But after that, we're going to get a trend to the downside. This may be very short-lived, the upside. After that, we'll be trending to the downside. So there could be a surprise of one more spike, one more retracement within this area. And I'll be looking at this area here from this area here, right? Either as a corrective structure or to retest the top, one out of the two. Depends on how this whole structure develops. But there could be, once we get into this lower level here, we'll have to look at the whole structure to decide what it's doing. But there is a good chance that they could go back up one more. We'll keep an eye on that. Very good chance that that could happen. Aussie yen is breaking the line. Aussie yen broke out already, if that's what you're talking about. 4 hour. It broke out already, so the sell setup was already there. If you're looking for a shorter term, wait for a flag, and if you're not in the trade, wait for a flag and then sell. Right? Any more questions? Let's go. We have a course coming up on February 6th is starting. A lot of you already signed up for it. For the 2 weeks that I wasn't here, I had a really lot of requests and I told people to remind me. So if you're one of those people who wanted the course and I told you to remind me, please remind me. And if you don't get a message from me, send me a message on Skype again, because a few people sent me today that they didn't get the message from Skype. Just send me a message again and you'll get it, right? That's about it. So what we do in our course, look at last week's, I think it was last week webinar, I explained, we don't teach you basic stuff. Don't worry with what the trolls are telling you. We're not wasting our time in basic stuff. We teach you to trade. It's very, very advanced stuff. You get all our strategies. You stay in the trading room and you trade with us, basically. It's more of that kind of work you do. Any more questions? Let's go. Aussie CAD, New Zealand CAD. I think we just showed the Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD, you're gonna get some more downside. See, it's breaking, but this is more of a flag, so short-term sell, and then we will see. It doesn't have a good sell setup as yet, but we are looking for more downside eventually, right? We're looking for this as a pullback and then downside. Maybe you'll get a longer-term pullback in here, maybe a 1, 2, 3, and then downside. So probably wait for that. Take short-term sells now. It's not a long-term. We closed the long-term trade already, right? So we'll re-enter that again. New Zealand CAD, I think, is pretty similar in its structure. Yep, pretty similar. New Zealand CAD, you may still get this come back here, right? Watch this, it could still come, but then it's an upside because this is not going up aggressive. So any trade here is short-term and then the upside, right? We're looking for that potential in this one, this pattern here, right? If you get this sell, take the sell, two things happen. They either break through or they go back one more up, right? If you want the YouTube videos, go on my chart, and at the bottom of the charts, you see there's a link there for all the YouTube videos. There's a link to the Facebook page and a link to the YouTube video. The Facebook page is more or less not very active, right? But it comes very active if something happens to TradingView, right? If at some reason TradingView is not working well, I always get Facebook as a backup. So you should add me to Facebook just in case there's some information you may get there that you may not be able to get on TradingView for any reason. It's an area. It doesn't matter. 270, 27.2 or 2021, but it's all an area. It's not. Don't make these things. Here's what is good about trading, right? Here's what you need to know about trading. I think this is very important. If you have a couple minutes to stick around, don't make these instruments, right? These are just instruments. Don't make them as if they're magical. There is nothing magical about any one of the instruments. The trend line, the fibs, the moving averages, the MACD, whatever you're using, it's not magical. It's a tool to enhance your trading. So what is more paramount, what is more important in the chart is the structure itself. Nothing but the structure, because the chart will do what it's doing. Your job is to interpret it, to read it correctly. And you use a lot of tools to do that. Some of the tools we use are very basics. That is trend lines. We don't even use fibs to interpret the chart. We just use fibs to give us a target. And that's a percentage. It's that simple. We found that once it gets to that level, it tends to make correction. 90% of the time it gets to that level. That's all. You don't need, nothing is magic. All those, you can draw, people like to draw a line and it's an animal and they draw the animal and said, well, I'll sell from here. And then they watch it do this and they wonder what happened. Well, because that's something you put in there. That's not what the structure is doing. If that is what the structure is doing, you get lucky and it turns at that point. And then you come up and you say, oh, my bat pattern work, or my crab pattern work. Or then you draw all the patterns you have and hope one of them work. That's the basic part where I see. It's not so. That's not so. Those patterns are not working. You just accidentally happen to pick the spot where the structure is turning and you got that one right. Right? Now, most of them doesn't work. And the reason they don't, because you're trying to assume that that is what the structure is doing. You're not trying to read the structure. You're trying to assume that the structure will do that. Right? Instead of doing that, why don't you read into the structure, see what the structure is doing, and then say, okay, this is what the structure is doing. This is what I expect it to do. It's that simple. If it makes a flag, you know that 90% of the time, those flags break in the direction of the trend. That's simple. Everybody knows that. You look at the pattern and you learn that, and you can see that in the structure day in, day out. You don't have to make an assumption that it's going to make a bat, a rat, or a cat here. You just have to look at the structure and say, this is what the structure is doing. Now, you can make assumptions if you want to, feel like like, oh, wow, you see my bat pattern work, so wonderful. Come, let me show you. And, or get a robot to put the bat pattern on for you. That's the worst thing you'll ever do. Here's why robots will never work. If robots were working, Goldman Sachs will have a building the size of Manhattan with robots in them, or have the strongest computer with robots. They will fire everybody, and you will have a room with robots. You will have the best robots in the world working for Goldman Sachs. Right? Everybody knows that. Citibank and Goldman Sachs and all those big banks will be competing with their robots. Well, it doesn't work. They know it. They've probably tested. I don't know that it has, but they've probably done. Once somebody said robot, they'll say, oh, get me 10 robots. Let's see how it works. It doesn't work, right? Right? No, they're not good with structures. Structure is not what they trade, right? What they trade is what they'll see in their book. That's what they trade. And they trade news that you and I are not informed in. They actually make the news. They don't just trade the news, they make the news. That's a whole different story. We can't trade like them. We don't have the capital to trade like them. And every now and then, they do get hit. That is because they couldn't make the news the way they would want to make it. right? They're the market makers. They make it happen. But robot is not what they're using, that's for sure, because robot cannot do it. Robot cannot analyze a market that is not moving mathematically, right? Robots are based on mathematical calculations, and the market does not move in that By the way, you guys should see what you guys should see is that big what is the one of my guys posted it in our chart, the big company that collapsed with those two mathematicians who created that hedge fund, and they almost bankrupt America the first time wrong, right? Because they thought they could mathematically calculate how the market is moving, and it failed. It failed big time, right? Hundreds of billions of dollars were lost because it doesn't move mathematically. You know, if it was, then there are brilliant people out there who would do that work, right? And what we are doing is short-term trade, very short-term trade. We're looking at structure. The market does have a structure, and that's all you have to do, right? No, Forex is not a scam. Forex is actually well-structured. Forex is, a lot of people do Forex that they don't know. If you travel, you actually are involved in Forex because you buy foreign currency. It's that easy, right? Yes, that model, but they actually created a hedge fund, the Scholz model, but they actually created a hedge fund that you know we're calculating mathematically, and for 2 years they won, and then it collapsed. Yeah, long-term capital, that's the name. So you guys should look at it. Mathematics don't work. That is why robots can't work in the market. So people who tell you, well, hey, take out the emotions, go buy a robot, it's going to work, it's not giving you the real stuff, because robots will not work, right? Look at the structure, learn the structure, study the structure. The structure in a short-term basis work real good. On a long-term basis, it work amazing. But we can't trade long-term structures. We don't have that buying power to trade long-term structures, right? We trade short-term structures because we can afford that risk, and we can afford to wait a week for the trade and then close it. I mean, look at the Aussie, New Zealand. You can't guess this stuff, right? You can't say this is what the structure is doing, right? It's going to come down here to the 786 and go back up. You can't guess it. It's not a guesswork. It's what the structure does every time. It's how it behaves, right? So you look at this, and then we're saying that all of you will be here, right? You're not going anywhere. I hope none of you are going anywhere. And we will watch to see whether we get to that top. We're doing this weekly, so every week you'll come and say, hey, what is it doing? Let's see what the structure, how it develops. Now, I can't say for sure that the structure may not change, but this will come to the upside. Whether it is this move that is going, whether it is this move here that is going up now, or whether this pulls back and then go, it is coming to the top there 90%, and we will follow it every time. Just like the cat. Excuse me. Just like the cat. Whether it is this move that is going to go, USD CAD. 60 minutes. Let me go to the 60 minutes and show you, those of you who were very skeptical, right? I can bring them up, all of them, and show you, right? Look, this was a sell one. There was another sell one here, somewhere in here. We closed it or something. I can't see it because there. So this was a sell setup. So let me show you all of them. It came to the top, you had a sell setup. It came to the top, you had a sell setup, right? It came to the top, you had a sell setup. It came to the top here. This was the only one we lost, this one. We lost it because we had a stop here. Now, we will not lose that trade, right? It came to the top, you sell. It came to the top again. What you do, you sell again. There's a sell setup in here at a 240. This one is in the 240, right? It came to the top, you sell again. That's it. Now, is that the one that is going to go? Is this the one that is going to go? Maybe not, right? But you keep selling. And then if the structure changes and it goes back up, guess what we are going to do? All of us in here, if you follow me, and it comes back to the top here, what you're going to do when it gets to the top there? You sell again. You're going to make money every time. See? See how it works? You're going to make money again. You just, oh, we don't have the stop there to recycle, but we will get one to recycle there, definitely, right? So here's the deal. Watch it if it starts to go back up. We will buy slowly, but this is the big sell you want. Actually, honestly, I want it to go back there because it gives us a much better trade to the downside. Now that we're using that new strategy, our risk to reward is going to be amazing, right? See, that is what I was showing people. This is how easy it is. You don't need a robot to do that. It's that easy. You don't need a robot to do that. 135, we don't look at the areas. We don't look at the price to sell. We look at the structure to sell. That's a whole different story. If at 135 it gives us a sell structure, we will sell. If it gives us a sell structure at 136, we will sell. If it gives us a sell structure at 132, we will sell it. We sell the structure, not the price, right? Whatever price is there when it gives us a sell setup, we sell it. That's it. That's what we do, right? So when people tell you you can don't worry, that guy, just go and download something and you will learn to trade, good luck with that. Good luck with it, right? Shanghai, definitely we can look at that. So okay guys, I'm glad you're here, right? I'm happy to see so many of you. We still had a lot of people. We came close to 300 today, but we didn't get 300. Last week we had. So a lot of people miss the link. They don't see it in time and all of that, but they do watch the webinars on YouTube. So I'll see all of you during the week. Take care. See you in TradingView, right? Don't forget to click the likes if you like the chart so others could see it. Have a wonderful evening and see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.